Guys, welcome back to the 3G Family Network. This is the official movie review of the Bob Marley One Love movie. Let's do it.
How you want to start?
From the beginning.
I'm actually going to start from the end. I'm going to give you my ratings first, and I'm going to work my way all the way back to the movie. So, this review, I'm giving this review as a Jamaican, as someone that was alive the year when Bob Marley died. So it might be a bit different from what other people would rate it. So I would give it a 4-star rating out of 5. And as I said, I understand if people would say 3-star or whatever, but from my point of view, as I said, as a Jamaican, as someone that was, in that time when the year in 1981 when Bob Marley died, I'm going to give it a solid 4 stars. And I must say, being in the movie theater watching it, there's certain times when I got chills, from the music, from some of the scenes. And, I went into watching this movie with certain expectation. As I said in the trailer review that, I understood why Jamaicans were a bit concerned that one of his sons not playing him. I understood, people are talking about why can't we have Jamaicans playing the main characters. But as I said in that trailer review, I was very confident in Kingsley and Lashana Lynch being casted as the main role. I understood why they did that. And based on all of those information, I think it went well. And I would give it a solid 4 out of 5. And I'm going to break down why I'm going to give it a 4. First reason why I am giving it a solid 4 stars is the production. For as long as I've been watching movie, in North America, in America, there's always been an issue with quality of production for a lot of black films. You go to a lot of the classic, what are classic movies now in the black community. They're, from the Spike Lees coming down to Ice Cube and, to the latest Tyler Perry. And a lot of those movies, in terms of the budgeting, is not at the same level, that you would have other movies in Hollywood. And even the ones that have a higher budget, the quality just seem a bit off. The budget for this movie was $70 million US. And the quality on the big screen is amazing. The cinematography, the sound effect and everything like that, just the way the movie was put together, the quality of the production was, I would say, arguably one of the best production that I've seen for any production that's pretty much a black, telling a story about African Americans or just from any black community at all. So when you look at, some classic shows like Boys in the Hood or some, Diary of a Mad Black Woman, Tyler Perry movies, and many more movies, like How Stella Got Her Groove Back, those type of soul food, we can go on and on. The production quality for this movie is next level. It's almost like you're watching a Avatar type quality, the cinematography that you'd get in an Avatar or, in one of those Pirates of the Caribbean type movies. So I would say the cinematography, the sound effects that comes through with the music was like excellent. So I would give the production a 5-star rating for this movie. So that's my first. The first thing that stood out to me is the quality of the production. Okay, and now the second thing that stood out to me in the movie was the music. The music was spectacular. You know, we all know Bob Marley's music, but the fact that, you know, they allowed the music to be authentically Bob and not try to cast someone that's going to sing it over, but just to have Bob Marley's voice going through for most of the songs. I felt that was the right decision. The selection of Bob Marley music that they selected for the film, the placement of the music, I felt was spot on. And the icing on the cake for me was just to see how the Exodus album came to be, because even as a diehard Bob Marley fan, someone that thinks that you know every single thing about Bob Marley, just to see that, you know, the Exodus album, how it all came through, like it was, the idea came out of a soundtrack from a movie, Exodus, back in those days. Like, you know, that is like new information for me, and it made the movie so much more meaningful. So the second part for me is the quality of the music, the placement of the music, and just the story of all the music. And I would give just the music in the movie itself a 5-star rating, full 5-star rating. So, and then for the third thing, yes. So the acting is the third one for me. Like, I was pretty confident going in that this would not be the type of acting that we saw in terms of the accent. The accent is what get people the most. It would not be the type of accent that we saw like in Cool Runnings or How Stella Got Her Groove Back, and other movies. So I was pretty confident that that would not be the case. But to see how Kingsley and Lashana like did such an amazing job, like that part was spectacular for me. And even seeing a lot of people that had a reservation about a non-Jamaican playing the role, and they were saying that, you know, the part of the film that they're not happy with was not the acting. Most people that I've come across said the acting was spectacular. Even if they had a problem with the movie, it was not due to the acting, it was due to the storyline. So I believe that the acting was, and for me, like personally, I thought they were going to try and hide them a bit in terms of not putting them too much out there, trying to be safe in terms of some of the patois that they chose for them. But I think they were all in, you know, and I was pleasantly surprised, like with some of the patois that both Lashana and Kingsley. And there was a scene where they were having a bit of an argument, and it was just...
Huh? I had the solets, I had offers, and I gave them up for the message for us. And they threw it in the face. Who really know you? Who really care about you, Bob? Chris? The marketing genius? Or Dan? Signing deals in the dark?
Amazing. Yeah, so the acting, I would say for me, the acting was excellent, and I would give the acting itself a 4-star rating out of 5. And I think, like, I would not be surprised if either one, Kingsley or Lashana, gets nominated for an Oscar or some of the big awards next season. I would not be surprised because the acting was really good. Okay, so we just spoke about the production part of it in terms of the quality, and I list the reason why I gave it a solid 4 out of 5 stars, based on the production quality, music, acting, and everything. And to add to that now, I'm going to talk about the budget. And I know normally in a movie review, people are not really concerned about the budget, but I think that is something that we have to be concerned about. So the budget for this film was 70 million US dollars. You know, that is that's not chicken feed. I think this is the biggest budget that any Jamaican story has ever been invested in telling any one Jamaican story. 70 million US dollars. And why I added to my 4-star rating is that for the opening weekend, the worldwide numbers came in, and the movie brought in $75 million for the opening weekend. $75 million. Let that sink in. You know, and I think as Jamaicans, we have to be concerned about this, right? They invested $70 million. And for the opening weekend, because of the name of Bob, because of the marketing of the marketing team, they had the movie premiere in Jamaica, they had a movie premiere in London, they have it in Paris, they had it in Toronto, in the US, they had the premiere all over the world, you know, marketing this movie. And 75 million worldwide for opening weekend is awesome numbers. And we saw what happened a few weeks ago with The Color Purple. The Color Purple budget was $130 million, I think. And that movie opened maybe a month ago, and they have not recouped half of that budget yet. So I just wanted to add this to my review because I think Jamaicans should be happy about this number, because at the end of the day, Paramount Pictures, they're in the business of making movies, telling stories to make money. That's what they're in the business of doing. And if this story coming out of this small island can recoup $75 million in one weekend worldwide, I believe that Paramount Pictures could be open to the idea of doing other movies with Jamaica. So I believe that that's a big win for Jamaica, and that's why I added that to my review. So yeah, $75 million. I think Jamaicans, we should be proud because it's just the first weekend. Okay, so now that we got the good stuff out of the way, let's dive into, you know, what is more complicated, the more complicated stuff now. Why didn't I give it a full 5 out of 5 stars? And let's list the reasons. The first reason is I don't think people understand how difficult it is to make a biopic. It is extremely difficult. And to add to that, I don't think people realize that this Bob Marley biopic, it's the first of its kind. It's never been done before. This type of biopic. And let me explain why. A biopic, for the most part, has 2 categories. Superstars, 1 category. Superstar would be like the Ray Charles biopic that Jamie Foxx got his Oscars award for. You know, a really good movie. Selena, excellent movie. You know, like those two are 2 that jumped out at me right away because they were like excellent biopic. And that is a superstar category. Those 2 were like superstars. We get that out of the way. The other category of biopic would be for like legends. So a lot of time it's like these larger than life figures that are not superstar that don't consider themselves a superstar, like a Malcolm X, like a Dr. King, like a Mother Teresa, like a Winston Churchill type of character, persona, like that is like legendary. Like, it's like social, political, freedom fighters, people that lead, successful wars and stuff like that, that had an impact on the world, but not through music in terms of being a superstar. So those are the two categories. For me, I could be wrong. Like, if I'm wrong, leave it in the comment section. But this is the first time we have ever seen a biopic that is 2 in 1, that is telling the story of someone that's a superstar and a legend at the same time. So it is very difficult to pull that off, especially in 1 hour and 45 minutes. I believe that I think Netflix need to reach out to the Marleys and say, you know what, let's just do like a Netflix series. I think it would be perfect for a Netflix series, a 20 episode or whatever, to really tell that story. So I think the time, it's very short, 1 hour 45 minutes to do a legend and a superstar in one. Further explain, when you see a biopic of a superstar, most of the biopic that we have seen, it's like generic, like it's copy and paste, like it's the same thing. It's like fame, money, sex, drugs, alcohol, copy and paste. Just put any actor, any actress in that. That is what we have seen in a lot of biopic. And a lot of people that saw this movie and gave it a low score, when you talk to those people, they were not satisfied because they know, Bob's life story, that Bob had more than one woman and he have kids with different women. So they were expecting like sex scenes in the movie. They were expecting drama and all these type of stuff in the movie. And that's why I'm saying it's difficult to do that, because the same way you will not see those scenes in a Selma for Dr. King. It's well documented that Dr. King had extramarital affair while he's on the road doing his thing. And you don't see that depicted in the Selma movie. When you look at Winston Churchill and some of the activities, everything is not listed in those biopic. So, and to add to that, the Rastafarian community is not the type of community that would like put those things out there. Yes, you might say, yes, Bob had different women, he had extramarital affair, but the Rasta community, they're not making a movie that's going to be glorifying sex, drugs, and alcohol. So people that were looking for drama and those type of things in the movie would walk away disappointed, because they're like, oh, why didn't I see like Rita fighting someone else? Or, Rastafarians are not going to do that. And I believe that is one compromise that Ziggy Marley and Rita Marley, they would not have made with Paramount Pictures, because it's not just it's the Rasta community. That would be like a big letdown for the Rasta community. It's almost like seeing, because it's not just, and as Bob Marley stated many times, he didn't see himself as a superstar. And he's in a legendary category. And it's almost like trying to make a biopic with like some larger than life figure like Mother Teresa or, Dr. King, Malcolm X, and trying to make it like a drama type of thing. So, for me, I believe that it was a difficult job. I understand that people wanted to see that, because the time that we're living in, right? We like those type of dramatic stuff and, sex scene and all that stuff. But I did not expect to see it, because it's Bob Marley and it's Rastafari. Rastafari it's a religion just like Christianity, and you're not going to want to see a TD Jakes biopic or a Joel Osteen biopic and you see like sex, drugs, and alcohol. Even if it took place in their life, trust me, you're not going to see it in a biopic. So that explains why you would not have seen those things in the movie. You know, to Rastafari, and it would be a letdown to the Rastafarian community. So I don't think they would have compromised and put in those scenes in the movie. That I've heard a lot of people using is sanitize. People are saying that this movie, one of the disadvantage for having the family like Ziggy and Rita is that they're going to sanitize the biopic, and they're not going to put some of the darkest things that would have happened in that time. And I understand that, I get it. And I'm sure, like, for the most part, most biopic would have left out a lot of things, And, I know the Amy Winehouse biopic is coming up, the Michael Jackson biopic. It's going to be very interesting to see how they kind of walk the line with some of those storylines. But, as I said, I understand. And I understand why people would feel a bit let down not having, because they're saying, like, why don't you just give the full story? So I understand that part. And that would, add to, my 4-star, 4 out of 5 rating. But in terms of the quality of the movie, there's only one, I would say, violent scene, when they got shot in the movie. But apart from that, it's been a long time since I could have like gone to a movie without seeing some type of agenda stuff going on in the movie, some type of crazy stuff, like even like sexual scenes and these type of stuff in movies that, like, as adults you're uncomfortable with. Just crazy stuff in all these movies. People are scared to go to the movie theater. So I felt, this was refreshing to have a movie that, I saw people there with their kids. And as I said, there was only one violent scene where they're shooting. But for the most part, it was like uplifting. It was, good quality movie. So, I think, we need more movies. Like, we need a balance. We need a balance. We can't have all movies, sex, drug, alcohol, crazy stuff, like, wild, crazy stuff. We can't have, 100% of that. So it was good to have this. And I think one of the only letdown would be the way how the movie ended. I think it just ended abruptly, like it was unexpected. It didn't like wind down. It just ended. And again, I understand why they did that. It, they shot over 4 hours of movie, and they kept cutting until it got to 1 hour and 45 minutes. There are scenes that were in the trailer. There's a scene where Rita Marley opened the door for one of Bob Marley, one of the lady that the Miss Jamaica World, Sydney Breakspear, that was Damien's mom. There's a scene where Rita Marley opened the door to her, and that was supposed to be, when Bob Marley was on his deathbed. And for those who know the story already know that both of them took care of him until he died on his sickbed. Both women, came together and take care of him. That part was not in the movie. There's a part with Peter Tosh. So a lot was left out of the movie, and a lot of people are upset because scenes were left out of the movie. But, I don't think they wanted it to be like a 2.5 hour, 3 hour. And I understand, I get it. So, yeah, so those are my, feedback on the Bob Marley One Love. I'm going to watch it again. Yeah, I'm going to watch it again because it was as I said, like I've never been this excited for a movie. I couldn't tell the last time I went and watched a movie and just came out of the movie theater like happy and satisfied and stuff like that. So I'm going to watch it again, and I think you should go out and watch it. Yeah, and as a Jamaican, I'm proud of the movie. So please, if you went to watch it, like just tell me what you think in the comment section. Are you disappointed in it? Why are you disappointed? What rating do you give it? So let me know in the comment section. And please remember to subscribe, and peace. I'm out.